Welcome back. The final RTF show of the year. It is championship week here. Brother John, how are you doing?
Doing very well. I'm excited. We got a couple good guests on the show today. I think
Indeed.
we're gonna have a good week. I think.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup. It's gonna be probably pretty high scoring, something that we're not used to, but it's gonna be good.
It's a Christmas affair here. I'm in my brightest red jersey I could find. My Danish national team. We are here though with the two participants of the championship game, yet to know who will be crowned the winner. Peter Kramer and Ken Hoffman. Peter, how are you doing?
Great. I'm excited, boys. This is a big weekend, big exciting weekend, and I'm nervous and I'm ready to rock though. I'm ready to rock.
Welcome aboard. Ken, how's it going?
Good. It's been tough this week, as I'm sure Peter knows, all the distractions going on. The media junket, another stop here on Radio Row, but we're excited. Let's do this thing.
Mm-hmm. We're really putting you through the ringer with the league. You both had to do local radio spots this morning that I'm sure were a lot of fun.
4 a.m. wake up calls, not great. I want to focus on the football. The team, they're not, distractions are not getting the best of them. So they're doing a great job.
You got to get on with Carmen and Yurko though here in Chicago. So we're gonna go through the matchup, the championship matchup. We'll take a quick look back at the week that was, and it'll be really quick. There's one big matchup that I just want to note. In the battle for last place in the consolation bracket between my brother and I kicked his ass. It was a 111-61 victory for the Decatur Staleys, cementing their place as not the worst team in the league. So I just want to pat myself on the back.
Is this the final time we have to listen to the two worst teams we talked about? You guys get a lot of airtime on the show.
Well, it's our show.
Yeah. Do you want to do a deep dive on that matchup, Ken?
No, that's a hard pass for me.
But in other news, the semifinal matchups, unfortunately, unlike the first round, which had some interesting matchups, the semifinal matchups were not quite as interesting. Peter killed Bill, and Kelly finally succumbed to the absolute fiasco that was her team this year, losing to Ken by about 26 points. Any takeaways from those matchups, John?
Well, I think if it's any indication what's to come, both Ken and Peter put up a plethora of points, and I think we saw, at least on Bill's side, a couple bad decisions on sit start, and just.
I don't think they would have made a difference, though.
That is probably true. I think he did he ran a little analysis, and even if he started all the right people, he would have lost. So it's a little comfort.
Hard to overcome the 146 put up by Mr. Kramer over there. So let's move on then to the championship matchup. We found ourselves in the position that I think we both thought we'd be in. This was the position I predicted we'd be in a couple of weeks ago when the playoffs started. How are you guys feeling about this matchup? Let's start with, I think there's a pretty big, the projections have you guys about even. Actually, I think you're both at 127 right now. But based on history, I think Peter is the favorite coming into this matchup. So let's start with the underdog. How are you feeling as the underdog here, Ken?
Good. We're loose over here. All the pressure's on Pete.
Okay.
Alpha has spent a lot of money. He's put all his eggs in the 2020 basket. That fan base might revolt if they lose here, because I'm not sure we're gonna be left with. That cupboard might be bare for 2021.
God.
So
it's like an Atlanta Falcons situation. It's gonna be rough.
So Peter, let's hear it. I mean, are you? What are the spots that you're most anxious about in this matchup, or do you not have anxiety as the favorite? Do you feel like you're just going to steamroll?
I think my matchups are really good. I think, and I was texting Ken about this, is that like he's got a lot of players that play each other. And so I'm kind of hoping there's not a shootout in those games. So like hypothetically, if Robert Woods is scoring a ton of points, does that mean Seattle's not scoring as many points? Or if they're both are? And then on top of it, like, you know, if Travis Kelce goes off, that probably means Tyreek Hill's not going off. So it's like there's a lot of layers to this matchup that I've looked at where I'm like, I just got to roll the dice, you know, and just hope, you know, I mean, the roster's the roster, but like, you just don't know how it'll kind of shake out. Like, will Calvin Ridley be blowing up if Kansas City's blowing up? I have no idea. And I think that's kind of the scary part is there's guys that can put up some big points. And, you know, like I was eyeballing this week as like Nick Chubb's, like, I'm going to run over the Jets. Well, the Jets came out and played really well against the Rams and don't want Trevor Lawrence, but I'm kind of nervous about that matchup now. So I'm excited to see what kind of goes down. There's a lot of really good players, and I'm nervous.
These teams are stacked. So I'd say the only guy that I'm surprised not to see in the championship would be Derrick Henry, just because that's a guy that you expect to be there. But everybody else, I think for the most part, the players that you would expect to see there are there. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Pat Mahomes, Justin Jefferson.
For sure.
I mean, these are all the guys, Calvin Ridley this year. These are all the guys that you'd expect to see there. So it should be a good matchup. It's a matchup of stars. I mean, Ken, is there a matchup that you're most worried about going into this game?
So the nice thing for me is that Tyreek Hill scares the shit out of me because that guy can put up 50 points at any point, but it's mitigated since I have Mahomes. So I'm not all that concerned there. If Hill has a big game, that means Mahomes having a big game.
Yep.
Kamara, yeah, he can also go off. Kyler Murray, is he healthy now? He could put, yeah. I mean, all these guys are good. This is bullshit. Like, this is a tough matchup.
Well, all your guys are good too, with the exception of David Johnson.
I would really prefer to either get blown out. Like, just have my guys just shit the bed and get blown out. I don't want to be out watching Monday Night Football. He has Diggs. I have, all three phases have been solid this year. The kicking game's been good. The defense has been good. But if I'm relying on Tyler Bass and the Buffalo defense to outscore Diggs on Monday night, it's not really a game I'm going to be happy to watch.
Oh, I mean, I'm really rooting for the idea that this is going to come down to like a Tyler Bass field goal.
Yeah. So let's see.
Who's a rookie and he looks like he's 15?
Yeah.
Let me ask a question here. So if it does come down to that situation, are you rooting for the Buffalo Bills or are you rooting for your fantasy?
So Peter and I actually talked about this, and usually
it's a big question for
I watch the Bills and I just put my phone away. I don't check fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really tough to do that, especially since they've already locked up the division.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Cam Newton turns into Cam Newton from 2012 and the Bills are losing, I'll start freaking out. But I think I'm definitely going to be checking my phone the whole time and looking at the score. There's no way around it. Like, it's a nightmare scenario.
Stephon Diggs game-winning touchdown. You lose your fantasy matchup. How do you feel?
That's fine. It's still, I've always said I'd rather see the Bills win a Super Bowl than myself win a fantasy championship. So
it's a great answer.
That holds true.
It's a great answer.
Indeed.
But this carries such layers to it because, I mean, I told Ken this. I was like, you can tell the Rose family, I'm better than your sons. Like, I am better than your sons. Like, the first league, like, it's almost like Team of Destiny type stuff. It's like the Rose brothers get 11th and 12th place, and then if Ken gets first place, that never leaves. So like Ken could get 12th place for eternity, and you could say, hey, remember season 1? I dominated.
Season 1, yeah. We're still working out the kinks here and all this stuff. This is really like a test season. And pilot. Yeah,
sure.
It's pilot. And you always go back and like kind of touch some things up in the pilot episode. You kind of change, one or two things for syndication, and that'll probably be us making Kelly the winner.
Yeah, I mean, I really think the winner of this championship, it's going to be viewed a lot like Bill Russell's championships in the 50s. It's just, like two teams that were blocking like 5'10" white guys shots. It doesn't really count. So, you know, we'll see.
So this is the pilot. Who are we writing off the show?
Charlie Gums.
Like, there's no way he comes back, right? I mean, okay, you guys spent a lot of time doing this. I applaud you. It's a lot of effort. You're consistent every week. But your teams are terrible. So it's got to have been rough to do this and get excited about it. I'm sure it felt more like a job somewhere on like week 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But then you have Charlie, who you have to like beg to start players, and he cruises to the playoffs. That's got to just the pain that you must feel internally.
Yeah, that hurt. I would say the bigger thing, it was nice to at least have some like hope in my division of making the playoffs. I had no like illusions that I would do anything in those
By the way,
playoffs.
Mike keeps looking around because we are all in the same place, just kind of hanging out.
Sorry, I'm looking
No, it's
at
fine.
each other. Yeah.
We'll edit that out in post.
I mean, the injuries throughout the season were absolutely devastating, and I was never able to actually field a full roster. Mike had the same issue with his Michael Thomas and everything, but that's enough. You know, you said you don't want to talk about our teams anymore.
They always go back to their own teams, don't they?
You brought it up. You were literally the one who asked the question about it. So
I think what we'll do after this, you know, there will be some a little bit of off-season content. We'll do a show before the keeper, the contract deadline. We will have a winter meeting that we'll schedule for sometime in January or February, where we can iron out some kinks and people can vote on stuff. I don't want to talk about it right now.
I can't air all my grievances.
No, not right now.
We can do a separate show for that, Ken, where it's just you
and
finally, let's give the people what they want. More of the used car salesman.
Just sitting in a room.
Man, I've never created so many enemies like without knowing it, like immediately. So I never had a chance to defend myself, and I've been accused of being hyperbolic, dramatic in the past by all 3 members of the Rose siblings. So, so when that trade went through, obviously I reacted emotionally, not happy about the way I responded in the group meet, like saying this will end the league. And then it was the middle of a work day, so I got distracted, and I just came back 3 hours later, and there was just like a novel of differences, all this drama. The trade was reversed, and 2 different trades were made. Oh my God. It's like just dropping a grenade.
It was an epic day. Yeah. It was a big day in league history.
My favorite though is when Ken was just like, I can't delete what I just put. Like, I want to delete what I just get posted. But it's made for a better matchup though now in hindsight, because I probably wouldn't have traded for Tyreek Hill. So like the way that it kind of went down, because like, you know, especially with it being the first trade for draft money, I thought the debate was really good. And like, because it was just like, hey, what is fair value? What do we talk about? And I think it makes for like better, like, especially being a first year. If we did that 5 years from now, you're going to have John Rose being like, well, you traded this for this. And da, da, da. You know, like now it's like, okay, now we sort of set the bar. And it's one of those things where it's like, depending on how things go, it's like, you know, did I pay too much for Kamara, or did you pay too low for Mahomes, or did I pay too less for Mark Andrews? Like that's where I think like it'll be cool down the line to be like, to revisit some of this stuff and be like, not good, you know, like James Conner went for what, 12 or 14, you know, 12. And it's like, well, is that good value? Is it not? And it's like, I think that's what'll be good.
We know now that was terrible value.
Yeah. No, I thought it was some really good discussion that day, and I think moving forward we'll be in a better spot for it. I think Ken's response though is one of the all-time greats. I don't know if it is the greatest comment of the season. There's a number in the running, but that's probably something that we can do a separate little write-up, or maybe a show in the off season. Best comments.
Fuck you, bitch.
That's how you just open the show with that. Just Sullivan just saying that on camera.
The best part is, you know, I don't know Pete at all, except now I do. But like, I don't really. When I saw the text, I was like, I can't tell if he's actually angry or not. I don't know him personally on that level to be like, is that a joke? Like if that comes from John, I just like, oh, whatever, brush it off. But like with Pete, I'm like, he could be really mad. I don't really know.
You got to him.
Yeah. Well, that was a great meme that you sent. So.
We'll do some of this during the off season and go back and look at the auction and all that. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I think John and I'll do a prediction. Do you want to give a prediction? I mean, we both kind of already did before the playoffs started, but do you want to give a score prediction? What you're expecting to see here, John?
God, yeah. I think, Give me a second though, man.
Okay, I know Pete's your boy, and you're gonna say it's him, but just give me more than whatever you said 2 weeks ago. Like, yeah, Ken's like these guys could all have bad games, and like, okay, he had like one bad game, but like give me something, man. Like, we're paying your salary here. Let's hear it.
Actually, when looking at this down the line, I do think Ken has a pretty good shot. We saw a good game from David Johnson last week. Josh Jacobs appears to be healthy. Robert Woods and DK Metcalf, when they played each other last time, they both had bad games. I don't think that that's going to happen again. Both teams are playing for something at this time, and so I think
playing for a Rose Tackle Football League championship.
Well, no, I don't think DK is, but maybe Robert Woods. And Calvin Ridley is playing against Kansas City, and there's no more doubting Calvin Ridley in my mind. And even without Julio in the game, I think Calvin Ridley will have a huge game. I'm gonna go with a little bit of an upset here. I'm gonna go Ken 142.
Wow.
Peter 136.
Wow, it feels like a reverse jinx.
So Ken 142, Peter 136, 142, 136. Okay. I mean,
I love
Peter,
you, Peter.
what's your reaction to that? Ken just basically disowned, or John just basically disowned you.
Having been the 1 seed for most, if not most of the season, I've been written off. This is just bulletin board material.
The woe is me 1 seed.
I mean, I've got a lot of underrated guys. Stephon Diggs was a $12 purchase. Everybody wrote him off before the season, and we watch all the games here pretty much, and they toss him the ball non-stop. And it is just so much fun to watch for me since he's on my team and stuff like that. I think my boys have a big day, and I think you're wrong, John. I think you are wrong. I'm going to talk these guys up. They're going to use what you said, and we're going to hang it up in the locker room. I'm going to have a big chat before the game, and it's just extra motivation for the team.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I think if using my analysis as motivation is just
lazy analysis. It's lazy analysis. It's lazy analysis is what it is.
All right. That's another all-time great comment, but we'll save that one.
All right. Prediction. So John 142 for Ken, 136 for Peter. I'm not gonna reverse mine. I called Ken to win this a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna stick with that. I do think so. I have one question for Ken before I give my prediction. Just looking at the bench that you both have available, how confident are you in starting David Johnson? That's the guy that I'd be worried about, and I'd be considering possibly starting Kenyon Drake. But I mean,
RB2 has been a challenge all year.
Yeah, I bet.
It's been rough. David Johnson, the running game, who's a running back in Houston? Their offensive line is not very good. They haven't been able to run the ball. He had 11 catches last week.
Yeah, which is how he got those 20 points.
And the thing is, you look at who has a higher floor between him and Drake, because I don't really need the RB2 spot to blow up. I just need them to not put up 4 points.
Mhm.
So David Johnson, when healthy, he's on the field for 80% of the time, and Drake just splits carries with Edmonds, and it's maddening. Like, you never know, unless he scores a touchdown, he's not going to have a great week because he's just not on the field as much
he's
as David
been a
Johnson.
touchdown machine this year.
Yeah, no, it's a tough decision. The Bengals are a trash defense, so the assumption is that the hope is that he scores a touchdown, but the move is he has a higher floor. So Drake probably has a higher ceiling because that offense is just better, and if he's actually on the field, in the red zone and at the goal line, but it's the high floor play.
Okay, fair enough.
I like how the two commissioners are like, let's put some doubt in Ken's mind right now. So make sure you guys talk to him all weekend and go, Kenyon Johnson, just to get in his own head, so that like if the other one, I'm like, I love this stuff. Just you guys are helping me in this regard, because my roster, I'm like, these are the guys. That's it. No more changing. We're done. We're done.
It wasn't a doubt until just now. Now I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about this earlier today when all the news comes into that players not practicing, guys are banged up, or like, was it a rest day? Was he actually hurt? Like, all my team's fine. Like, I just set and forget it. No one's hurt. I'm good. We're healthy. We're gonna be fine. And then you mentioned Kenyon Drake, and that son of a bitch that I paid $42 for has done nothing for me all year.
Ooh. Yep.
Can we not say son of a bitch? Is this not allowed on the show? Is this a family show?
No, the $42 was
that was bad. It was no Michael Thomas or Saquon Barkley. It was pretty bad.
So I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm not going to flip. I will go with Ken. It seems a little silly that we're both picking the underdog, or the team that we just called the underdog. But I will go Ken 128 to Peters 122. Ooh, 128, 122. I think it's going to be a close game.
Low scoring.
Well,
I think it's gonna be
low
scoring.
Low scoring.
I have enjoyed how you begrudgingly picked me multiple times throughout the last 4 or 5 weeks to win. So I know it pains you. I know how much it pains you.
I don't understand, Mike. You can go back. You can change your mind. That's it's a sign of a learned person, is their willingness to change their mind.
I mean, that's true, sure.
It's
but
getting really deep here.
I like my original prediction, and
Like
what do you mean?
You're like, I don't want to go back on it. I'll choose Kent.
Oh no, that's not the manner in which I was. That's not the way I was meaning to convey this. I do like Ken's team. I mean, the Travis Kelce, DK Metcalf, Pat Mahomes, Calvin Ridley core, I think is pretty tough to beat. Peter, the thing that worries me. So Nick Chubb, I think probably has a great game against the Jets. It's the Alvin Kamara that worries me a little bit more. What does that look like with Breeze coming back? I mean,
good.
You think it looks good right away?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, I hope so for Peter's sake.
No, you don't. You hope for my sake. So
No. I don't. I want to be clear. I'm not rooting for you. I'm predicting.
It's the story of my life.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. I'm also rooting for Peter.
To be clear.
My analysis is sorry.
We'll have to do a league vote. In the chat, I was laughing because I was like, I don't think people are rooting for me. It feels like they're rooting against Ken. Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Yes,
Alpha.
Yeah.
Can I call you Alpha?
Yeah, it's so funny. I die laughing when when I'm on doing poker with Bill and he's like, "Hey Alpha," I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I wish I wouldn't have picked the name now.
How can we make? Let's make not a promise, but whoever wins should buy a trophy or something with the winnings for the rest of the league. How do you feel about that?
As long as the rest of the league is okay with it, are we going to mail it to each other then? Is that what we're going to do?
Well, I should ask the commissioner. So if whoever wins, can they decide what the trophy is and can they name it?
No. This is how we got stuck in Ken's league with some stupid fucking trophy called the Golden Ken, which I never even got to hold the year that I won the league. And I think it's now broken. I don't even
It
know.
was broken
Yeah.
the day after we got it.
So here's my suggestion and what we can do. I'd rather what we do is just for next year's entry fee, kick in a little money to cover. Like I'll buy a trophy called the Golden Mike, and then if everybody kicks in $10 next year to cover the cost of it, that's what we can do.
If I win and buy my own trophy for myself, not for
that's
anybody
fine.
else, just for me.
I mean, Ken, if
It's
you
such
wanna buy
a big
your own
part of my social being, my
Or
own
we
being,
could
and
buy-
my self-worth.
Or we could buy a belt, we could buy a ring, we could buy, it could be all sorts of things.
It needs to be. Hear me out on this. So
Sure.
it doesn't need to be, but here's a recommendation. Everybody in the league is in the millennial. Aren't you got right? We're all in that.
We're right at the end of it, but it's
Right.
still there.
So everybody received participation trophies, right? I'm assuming.
yeah.
I'm assuming everybody received one of those POS medals. Like we always had medals that were given out for all sorts of stuff.
AYSO.
I got a ribbon a lot of times.
But here, yeah, like ribbon/medal or something along those lines that can easily ship in a $6 like thing. Like when I've shipped trophies, it's like I don't want to pay $25. I just lost. Like to ship this thing, I have to find a box. Oh wait, it doesn't fit in the box that you have in the garage, so you got to find all this other crap. But like a participation kind of thing. I don't know, fee, whatever. I don't care what it is, but like a big ass medal, this, like that size, just
What
like.
what about a
I
wrestling
like
belt?
that.
I can make up a custom, or well, it's not custom, but it would be like a plastic wrestling belt.
Yeah, I'm into that.
What about just a normal belt? Like
Yeah.
you just buy a really nice belt that we can all pass around and the
nice-
winner gets to wear it for
Some
a
nice
year.
brown leather,
Or we could do a jacket. We could do like the like the green jacket.
like a
A
varsity.
starter,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
a starter
Oh,
jacket with all the colors.
Yeah.
If it's a belt, though, when you mail the belt to the winner, you have to mail all the leather working stuff so that you have to etch your initials in it.
Like some oil so they can
Yeah.
condition
I
it.
like that. I like that. Or we could, I like the starter jacket idea. Like we could just get one of those Charlotte Hornets,
I like that.
starter jackets from the
Yeah.
1990s and pass that around. Yeah. All right. Well, things to consider. Things to consider.
Mhm.
All right. I think we've hit. We're about to hit the half-hour mark. We will leave it there. Actually, do you want to preview the other matchup real quick?
Yeah, so we do have a couple other matchups. We got the third place matchup between
So no.
Kelly and Bill, which is not a big. I mean, it's big for them. It's probably not something that we'll be all watching in earnest. And then there is the championship in the consolation bracket.
I spent
for-
$13 on the Eagles defense as like a potential to take over the Steelers because they're playing the Colts. Because Wild Bill only has $12 left, so I spent the rest of my money on a defense because that guy's a goddamn wild card. So I was like, do it now. That's the defense you want as a just in case scenario.
That's
Do
a
it.
great pickup.
I think that was a good move.
Fucking Wild Bill. I want to know how much money he has spent on defenses all season.
I could go through and do it. He's definitely spent probably about half. I'd say he's definitely spent about half his money on defenses.
Yeah.
He had a run there where he was bidding 15, 10, 5, $15 on
Yeah.
defenses. So we talked about that in the last episode though, or in the 2 episodes ago. All right. So yes, Kelly versus Bill for third place. That winner comes away with I think they get their money back, $100. Winner of the consolation bracket, that is Alec versus Josh, right?
Yep.
Alec versus Josh. And so AJL versus Wings and Pizza, that winner comes away with $50. So something to play for there. Everybody else, just enjoy the holidays and try not to think about football because you suck at it, including myself. All right, Peter, Ken, thank you guys for coming on. This was fantastic. We can do a virtual handshake, Peter. Good luck to you both. We'll see how this goes. Good luck.
We'll see.
Do you guys want
Alright.
to say one
Thanks,
last thing
thanks,
to each other?
thanks for
or-
having me on the show. Good luck to Ken, but not too much luck. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm super nervous because there's only one first champion in the Rose Tackle Football League. So I am
Very
going
true.
to be heartbroken if it's not me. And it's just going to break my heart after all the work and the $24 I used of my draft capital to get to this point. So I'm going to be absolutely shattered if I lose. So just know that you're going to do that to me, Ken. So just know.
That changes how I feel about it now.
Yeah.
Now I'm rooting for you too. I'm also rooting against you.
Wow, 100%.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Have a safe new year. Stay safe, and we will talk to you all soon.
Good night. See you next year.